Alright, what up, y'all? It's Metaphor back from more to Kick the Raw, representing everyone's you and I verse. They had a little information thing for me to read right in the beginning. But yeah, we're gonna do a video on Mercury and Taurus, right? We're gonna do a breakdown of the transits, and we can also do the first to the 12th house. So before I even get into the music, this is the first thing I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna show y'all what's gonna go down. You see what I'm saying? So Mercury's gonna enter Taurus at April 4th, right? And then it's gonna retrograde on the 21st, and then it's gonna end on the 15th, and then it'll leave Taurus around like June 11th, 12th, or something like that. I think it's the 12th, whenever it fully transitions into Gemini. So yeah, there's that little breakdown, and we'll go get into the music. It's a song y'all ain't heard yet. I'm real hyped to drop it on your head top. You dig? It's called If I Die Tonight, featuring Dirty Sanchez from Pro Era, represent, you know what I'm saying, much respect. And it's produced by Profound Beats and mixed and mastered by the homie Wizard Lee. You dig what I'm saying? So much respect, much love to y'all. We're gonna do it justice. Try to ease my corrupted mind with the marijuana. Sing for life is God sent. When my eyes can find closed, open up doors. My mustard seed, it grows on. Through the heart I'm reborn. When you die, we look how you synthesize. Define how I stay alive. Survival tactics, governmental gangs. I face factions, mob hop, leave the weapon. Never half stepping. Million man march, 1 million and one. Around me the scenery shit. I'm high as a get it. Got to supply the broadness. I got the hell, you know what I'm saying? The rhyme be the scenery shit. I'm high as a get. Got to supply the broadness. Yo. Conscious, flip a continental plate, tectonic shit. Not like my phonics, 7-seat atomic. Never keep my feet up when I take in a verse. How they got pissed conscious. Never switch a set, I see the disconnect. Organization, truthfully put us all in categories. So they ask me what I am or what I'm not. This the real hip-hop, I puff pot, I don't touch clocks. Cause what I create could have me in a casket, hopefully. And a voice forever globally. Shit, your universe is just a city to me. Universe is just a city to me. You dig? The scenery shit. We get how the broadness. If I die tonight. Do some ad-libs for the homie, you dig? If I die tonight. Oh, for some. They building production, first way, that way, street, time's money, clock out, invoice included, super exclusive, whack ass excuses, excluded, off with them, new mandate. It's the new slave trade. Till it's free my sons, and it's free my mind. You heard? Biggie told me it's all a dream. If I die tonight, if I die tonight, if I die tonight, if I die tonight, if I die tonight. In your cranium, I into the titanium, steel sharp and steel. You know my stilo. To the street that feels with Johnny Dangerous. Can't contain them. Hey, this spot, get out phase. Yo, I'm gonna redo this last verse. If I die tonight, if I die tonight. In your cranium, I into the titanium, steel sharp and steel. You know my stilo, send the races to the killing fields. When Johnny trained them, Johnny Dangerous, the conscious, can't contain them. Hey, this bot cannot phase. point as a laser beam through your steel in a flash. Fuck the mask off, hit to save all. I can't believe today was a good day. Disbelievers telling me I'm not gifted. In a few years, gonna be stealing my style, shoplifting, incandescent. True MC, I really rep this. All mortalized, see through perception. AK my rep the worst, create this intervention. Then now, it's defiance of the first step. You in the first step, hold up, check. Can you grasp that? Can they grasp that? Can they grasp that? But yeah, that's the joint that y'all are gonna hear on here. That's exclusive, real exclusive. But yeah, so Mercury and Taurus, right? We got logistical and practical thoughts and ways of thinking. You dig what I'm saying? So this will be a time to ground thoughts and unique ways of being practical due to the Uranian influence. You dig what I'm saying? Because Uranus is going to be conjuncting Mercury on the 4th of June. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, let's get into that. Let's get into that. You dig what I'm saying? Shouts out to Smack, and that's a left field thing. I know I'll be watching a little Back on Fig podcast. And also, shouts out to Dolo the Pilot Man, you dig what I'm saying? The homie getting better, you dig what I'm saying? Dropped a live stream today, you know what I'm saying? And he dropped another live stream later. Shouts out to the homie, y'all show Dolo the Pilot Man some love, you dig what I'm saying? Archangel Gabriel, you dig what I'm saying? Shouts out to the Soul Group, you dig what I'm saying? And shouts out to the Peace Dealer, shouts out to all the homies putting in work, you dig what I'm saying? So let's get to that, you dig what I'm saying? So April 4th, Mercury enters Taurus. So, and then on the 5th, Mercury is going to sextile Saturn. April 6th, it'll conjunct the North Node. April 7th, Mercury will sextile Mars. April 10th, Mercury will square Lilith. And then in between the 10th and the 23rd, the only thing that occurs between then is April 21st, the Mercury retrograde begins. This will be a time to think about things that you previously thought about. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, have old thoughts coming up. You dig what I'm saying? Old things that you were thinking about in the past. You know what I'm saying? Coming back to reality, coming back to your thoughts that you're currently thinking. Then boom, April 23rd, it's gonna sextile Mars again. You dig what I'm saying? Since it's in the retrograde. And then on the April 29th, Mercury's gonna square Lilith. You dig what I'm saying? Once again, because it entered, Mercury entered Taurus, and then boom, it squared Lilith, and then the retrograde began, and then it's gonna come back and do the same thing throughout a lot of these other planets. You dig what I'm saying? Other aspects. So like I said, on April 29th, Mercury's gonna square Lilith, and then on May 1st. Mercury's going to conjunct the Sun. May 10th, Mercury's going to sextile Saturn once again. You dig what I'm saying? And then May 12th, it's Mercury's going to sextile Venus. And then between the 12th and the 31st, between those two alignments, the 31st is the square of Lilith. But between those two, the retrograde will end. So then it'll begin to leave Taurus. So then on May 15th, Mercury retrograde will end. So like I say, after the retrograde is ended, on May 31st, Mercury will square Lilith. Then, like I was speaking on earlier in the video, on June 4th, Mercury will conjunct Uranus. This is a big deal. So you have unique and practical thoughts, and it'll be like so practical to you, but to others it'll seem very unique and like out there kind of thing. It's like the lightning like change that nobody else sees coming but yourself. That's Uranus. And then May 12th, Mercury will sextile Venus once again. See, so yeah. Oh, my bad. I skipped over a couple things. I went back down to May. I meant to say, so like I say, on June 4th, Mercury will conjunct Uranus. And then on June 9th, Mercury will sextile Neptune. And then on June 11th, Mercury will sextile Pluto. Or trine Pluto. June 11th, Mercury will trine Pluto. So with all that being said, Mercury will then end in Taurus at June 12th. So it'll be completely transitioned to the Gemini on the 13th, 12th and 13th. You do what I'm saying? So now to get into the actual breakdown of the individual dates and what we what we have occurred, what we have experienced, and what has occurred, and then what is to occur. So right now, I think it's the what? Let me check what day it is. right now it's the 20th. You dig what I'm saying? So we're 1 day away. Well, the retrograde just is kind of just beginning. Actually, I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, it's later tonight or tomorrow morning, something like that. If I'm not mistaken. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go through what we have occurred, what has already occurred, and then I'm gonna show you. Okay, this is where we're currently at, and this is what is to occur. So on April 5th, we had the sextile with Saturn. So Mercury sextiled Saturn. So it was seeing practical thoughts to build. So Mercury is to think, so it's a thought. You see what I'm saying? And a sextile is seeing an opportunity. So you see the opportunity to think about ways to build. And then that's what we were thinking on the 5th. On the 6th, it was a conjunction with the North Node, so the spiritual path. So thinking in line with your spiritual path. You know what I'm saying? April 7th was the sextile with Mars. So it was seeing practical. Wow, I flunked out when I was writing this. Seeing practical thoughts to have passionate opportunities. That's what I meant to write. But I wrote it differently. And then April 10th. April 10th. We're gonna experience Mercury square Lilith. This will be a time to learn square, to be more practical about what one is thinking is embarrassing. So what this is a time to be more practical. Like, is it what I really think, what I'm embarrassed by actually practical? Does it actually make sense? This is a time to learn. What is actually, kind of like the scariest position you could be in, or most embarrassing position you could be in, and think like, wait, is that actually even a practical thing to be nervous about, or be, thinking that's embarrassing? So then, boom, we're right now it's April 20th. So then the next alignment that we're gonna experience would be whenever that retrograde is beginning. Then we have April 29th with the square and Lilith. So we'll experience that same energy of learning to be more practical about what we think is embarrassing. Then on May 1st, it'll conjunct the sun. So on May 1st, Mercury conjunct the sun. So it will be thinking in line with your actions. So the thoughts that you think are going to be in line with your actions. This is the time to back up what you got to say, for sure. If you're not backing up what you got to say with the Mercury conjunct the sun, you kind of flunked out. And you see what I'm saying? This is like an example of, if Mercury was behind the sun, then it'd be understandable. If Mercury was in front of the sun, okay, that's understandable. But you right in line with it. There's a time you gotta back up your thought, back up what you say. You do what I'm saying? So then May 12th, Mercury will sextile Venus. So this would be seeing opportunities and practical thoughts about love and values. So then finishing up, you got June 4th. This is a real important alignment. You got, like I was explaining earlier, you got Mercury conjunct Uranus. So this would be thinking about unique aspects. You know what I'm saying? So thinking about ways to be unique, thinking about things that are changing in your life, but only you really actually are changing them. You know what I'm saying? So this would be a time that you're gonna have everything that you express is gonna be like everything that you expressed, your thoughts wise or your communication style. It's all gonna be unique communication styles. You know what I'm saying? So then June 9th, you'll have the Mercury sextile Neptune. So seeing opportunities to think about a practical dream, illusion, or nightmare. So then June 11th, we'll have Mercury trine Pluto. So creating thoughts about change and transformation. Pluto is that change and transformation planet. You do what I'm saying? So you'll be thinking in line with what you should change. And then in Gemini, it'll be able to actually adapt to that. And we'll break that down whenever we got the Mercury in Gemini. So now we're gonna go to the 12th house. I'll try to return real fast. I'm gonna give me a drink of some water. One thing I forgot. My bad on that, yo. Alright, I'm back. So the first house is gonna be thinking practical about personal aspects. Second house, thinking practically about values. Third house, thinking practically in the environment. Fourth house, thinking practically about aspects close to the heart. Fifth house, thinking practically about one's childlike expression. Sixth house, thinking practically about one's routine, health, and pattern. Seventh house, thinking practically about relations and communication styles. 8th house, thinking practically about transformation, death, and rebirth. 9th house, thinking practically about knowledge and wisdom and ways of traveling, either externally or inside the mind. 10th house, thinking practically about one's status. 11th house, thinking practically about one's association. 12th house, thinking practically about one's dreams, illusions, and nightmares. So this isn't just like give you the actual breakdown of how you can look at it in a template wise, but you really get to thinking about it. So the first house is generally Aries. So you think about where if Taurus is here, that's right beside it. It's either you do real well or you do real bad. It's do real well or do real bad. It's fatal attraction. Second house, that's a sextile. It's like a conjunction kind of energy. This is where Taurus is supposed to be. You're going to do good here thinking about your values. Third house, this is going to be, once again, kind of like the first house. So it's either going to be in your environment thinking practically, or you're not going to be so practical in your environment. So this is a time to be more practical in your environment. The fourth house, this would be like that sextile energy. Think about this is seeing an opportunity in your way of being in the environment and being, thinking more practically about what is close to your heart. So being able to speak and communicate about what you actually hold close to you. You know what I'm saying? What you care about. So seeing the opportunity to think about what you care, what you find care for. And the fifth house is that square energy to the Taurus. You know what I'm saying? So this is a time to learn about your childlike expression, learn more about yourself, kind of thing. Sixth house. Then you could think about this as a trine because seeing the opportunity is the sextile. I'm flunked out for a second. Learning the opportunity is the square. Dag. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. I have it written down. My bad. Okay. Creating an opportunity. So yeah. Okay. Then the sixth house would be creating the opportunity for your routine and pattern. Creating an opportunity to think more about your routine and pattern. And the seventh house, like sixth house, the trine. And the seventh house, that's that in conjunction. So you might misunderstand ways to be more practical about what you got going on in your relationship. And the eighth house, this would be that opposition. So you can add to your transformation and what you're thinking about now, currently, in your eighth house. So you're like, oh, this is something that I could transform into something better. You know what I'm saying? So this is a time to add to what you're thinking about and add to what you want to transform. Ninth house, this is another in conjunction. So this would be a misunderstanding about your knowledge of wisdom. You might not be so practical when it comes to the knowledge of wisdom. So you might misunderstand what is actually practicality. In the 10th house, this is another trine. So you look at this as creating an opportunity to think about your status. You know what I'm saying? This is creating an opportunity to think about your status. 11th house, this would be a square. So you'd be learning how to think more practically about your associates. And the 12th house, this is the final sextile. And this is seeing an opportunity to think about your dreams. So yeah, that's how you can look at it whenever you're actually looking at the houses. Say like, oh, okay, so Taurus was birthed in the second house, and how does the second house align to the rest of the houses? And boom, that's how you can actually look at what energy is occurring. So yeah, that's the Mercury and Taurus. We're gonna keep on rocking out like that. You dig what I'm saying? Whenever I'm doing my moon videos, I'm gonna do my best to implement which actual phase we got going on. So I be on point in my regular life, like, okay, this is the actual phase we going on, but I don't actually always get that across to y'all, which phase we're going through, so you guys can actually get that science going in your own mind. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to implement that, and if I don't, you know what I'm saying, remind me and tell me, look, you should put the phase in there. So much love and holla back. Peace. Oh, holla back at me at conscious1347@gmail.com. That's CONSCIOUS1347@gmail.com, and you can email me for a transit reading or transit report. You can email me for a synastry reading or a compatibility chart reading, progress chart reading, or we could also just kind of get you a grasp on the actual astrology and do an hourly basis, like teach you about the actual aspects to astrology, teach you about the signs, all type of thing. Much love and holla back. It's Metaphor, back for more to kick the raw out.